Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rosanna. I go by Brightanddusty here on YouTube and on Instagram. This is a Flosstube video about cross stitch, and I think this is my Flosstube number 14. It's been a little less than a month since you saw me last, and I do have a lot of stuff to show. I have a couple of finishes, some whips, and then I have more haul than usual, which I'll leave, towards the end of the video in case you're not interested in that. And then at the very end, as long as the video doesn't run too long, I think I will talk a little bit about books I've been listening to. So that's what the docket is today. I'm coming at you from the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York, where we are really getting into the swing of fall. It's starting to get a little colder. The leaves are changing beautiful colors, and this is really just a wonderful time of year. So I have been doing a lot of fall and Halloween stitching. Today I put on my giant sparkly spider just to get into the spirit of Halloween. It's a pink spider. It's pretty cute. In the background, this is Bewitched by Shannon Christine Designs that I stitched in 2023. That was the only Halloween stitch I did in 2023, so I thought I would just have it in the background here. And that fabric is called Haunted Moon Mansion and Bats by Fabric Flare. Anyway, I will get into my current stitching. Let's see. So let me start with finishes. So my main finish, this video, is right here. This is called Enchanted Autumn Cabin by Flossy Fox Shop. Wow, it's really showing up well today. It's not getting washed out. So this was from the autumn 2024 issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine, which looks like this. It's a pretty recent issue. And I stitched this on an 18 count damask Ada by Zweigart, and I love how it turned out on this fabric. I think this was the perfect fabric to pick for this particular design. The colors just pop. It looks amazing. So this was a really fun stitch. I started it on September 2nd and I finished it October 5th, and then I put it in this frame the day after. So a little over a month while I was, working on other stuff. It's a pretty small design. However, there are a lot of color changes, as you can see. But the effect when it's all done is really special. It looks great. I finished it in one of these plastic hoops that looks like wood. I have a bunch of these laying around, and this one just happened to fit really well with this design. On the back, I just kind of glued a piece of board back here because since this was black, I didn't want the light shining through the holes when it was hanging up to disrupt the effect. So I went ahead and just glued that on the back. It seems fine. This is my first time doing a finish like this without glass and stuff like that, and I'm really happy with it. So this is also my piece for participating in the hashtag Year of the Dragon Sal, because you can see there's this green dragon here. I love him, he's so cute. And then up here there's another little dragon flying with these ducks. So I didn't think I was gonna get a chance to participate in that sale because it's been going on since you know, last February, I think, when it was getting a lot of buzz. It's hosted by the Huga Stitcher and Fibers and Floss Canada. So I didn't think I was gonna participate, but you know, it's still going on. So I decided to just finish this and call it my Year of the Dragon Sal finish. Yeah, my husband Andrew says that his favorite is the fox because, yeah, it's like super cute. But I think my favorite is this dragon. Okay, so that was my FFO. And then I do have one other finish, although I didn't actually stitch this. I found a couple of placemats when I was thrifting, I think it was last week, and they had these beautiful pumpkins and fall vegetables on them. Here's a picture. So I found two of them. They were different designs, but they were clearly stitched by the same person. Actually, the person had put their initials on them, so I knew it was the same person. They were very similar. They weren't exactly the same. They were on slightly different colored Adas. One was like a cream off-white, and then one was straight white. So I found them, and I just thought they were so pretty, perfect for fall. And they were $1 a piece, so I just went ahead and bought them, and then I turned them into a pillow. So let me show you that. So yeah. Yeah, Andrew and I never use placemats. We've never used placemats, I don't think. So I had no interest in keeping them as placemats. And my goodness, they just turned into the cutest little pillow. And this was just a really fun opportunity to practice making a pillow because, for instance, I had never added like a rickrack embellishment like this before, so that was really fun to figure out. And it's just adorable. I have no idea where this design came from. I mean, it looks like something that probably came out of like a cross-stitch book from the 80s, something like that, or the 90s. And yeah, I saved this stitcher's signature here. It's upside down. Wait. Yeah, SC06. So they stitched it in 2006. So super cute. I just put this up with my fall display with a couple of other pillows that I've made and my haunted house that I showed in my last video. So that was my other finish. I mean, it was kind of more like a collaboration, I guess, or like a save the stitches type thing. And that is all I have for finishes. The rest, I've got a few whips. And most of them are Halloween or fall. The first one is from this magazine, Halloween Revelry by the Primitive Needle. This is the 2009 Halloween edition of Just Cross Stitch. Here's what the finished design looks like. And in my Flosstube number 12, I told the very long story about how I found this magazine at a flea market. But I'll show you what I have on that design so far. So I did make a lot of progress on this actually. Like this witch is new. I didn't have the witch last time. She is so cute. I love her outfit. I am using overdyed floss that I just pulled from my stash. And this is a 40 count sand by Picture This Plus, and I'm doing 1/2. This design isn't huge. I'm hoping maybe I could finish this by Halloween. I still have to do these like cats over here. That's kind of a bigger motif. And then the bottom part is gonna take some time. And then there's all these little ninja motifs scattered around. But yeah, it's looking really cool. My next whip is the Widower Frog by Night Spirit Studio. I think I have that right. I'll throw a picture in because I got this as a PDF. And this one I took with me when I traveled a little bit a couple weekends ago, so I did make good progress on it. I love this frog. Oh my gosh. He is so cute. And I'm doing 2/2. This is a fabric. This is part of a tablecloth that I had cut up and dyed different colors. And it's really nice for stitching on. I have another project going where I'm using the same tablecloth in a different color because I dyed that blue. I dyed this one sort of like black, gray. But it's working out fine for stitching. It really just depends when you're working with linen napkins, linen tablecloths. It really just kind of depends on the quality of the fabric itself. I have found I found a tablecloth that I did not like, and I'm not going to stitch anything on that. But I didn't really know that until I had put a couple of stitches into it, and I was like, no, this doesn't feel right. So after a while, you just start developing an instinct for using these kind of alternative fabrics. This one's not bothering me at all, and I think it looks really good. Yeah, and it was super cheap. I mean, I found this tablecloth for probably like $1 because, it was at their store, nobody wanted it. It's probably just going to end up getting thrown away eventually, so I'm glad I was able to repurpose it. This I am able to use in Pattern Keeper, so I'm thinking that this Sunday I might stitch on this for Andrew the Runner Stitcher's Stitch Along. He's running the Chicago Half Marathon. No, the full marathon. He's running the Chicago Marathon, sorry. And he came up with this stitch along that he's calling #Stitching the Chicago Marathon. And that's happening this Sunday, October 13th. And he wants us to put in 262 stitches, because that's 10 stitches per mile. So I think I'm going to do this one because I can use it in Pattern Keeper and count the stitches really easily. But I think that's a really cool idea. And yeah, I run a few half marathons in my life. The most recent one was in August, 2 months ago. So I've never run a full marathon. I don't think I ever will. After running a half marathon, it's like I can't imagine just doing it again. So I really admire anyone who puts in the time to train to do that. It's really impressive, a huge accomplishment, and yeah, I'm excited to participate in his stitch along. So that is Andrew the Runner Stitcher. I'm sure you all know who he is on YouTube. But, okay, that is Widower Frog. This is another one I would like to get done because again, it's not huge. I think it's 5,000 some stitches. And I think I'm about like maybe a third of the way through. I forget. I should have written that down, but I forgot. Okay. My other whips. So this one is more fall Thanksgiving. It's called Harvest Time by the Prairie Schooler. This is turkey. And this, for me, this is a restart. I started it over on different fabric. I'm liking it a lot better now. And I don't have a ton done on this. I'm in like the wing area around here. And this is 40 count Silver Moon by Zweigart. It's not a dyed fabric, it's just like a plain fabric. And I'm doing 1/2. And yeah, it's going a lot better on this fabric. The other reason I restarted it is because I don't know if I'm gonna stitch all these leaves. I don't know if I need all these leaves in my life. Mostly I'm interested in the turkey and the little motifs that are around the turkey. I might just end up doing that. I did leave myself enough fabric in case I finish the turkey and I want to do the whole thing. That's a possibility. But right now I'm considering doing the turkey by itself because it's really, really adorable. And I like stitching birds. And I'm flying through these whips today. That's probably a good thing. And my next whip, this is the only one that's not fall. And you've seen this a million times. It's a Winter Sampler by Crocette, Gogo. And I did make pretty good progress on this actually. Sorry, I've got piles of stuff all over here and just trying not to disorganize everything. So since the last time you saw it, a month ago, I made a lot of progress. I did these motifs here. I did this owl. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong side. No, I did this side. I'm like looking at it backwards. I did this side. And I have one more of these pine trees to do. Over here, I added this entire band with the, I think they're snowdrops. Super cute. And yeah, for some reason I have like, I have the N in the alphabet and nothing else, but whatever. I don't remember why I did that, but there it is. Yeah, I'm keeping this one out because I was working on it in Sampler September, but I'm just keeping it going because I have some other Christmas winter things I want to start, but I really want to make some more progress on this before I start those. And also, because this fabric is light, it's a really nice one to work on in the morning when my eyes are, you know, still kind of tired. It's really easy to see. And for me, it's like really comfortable to stitch. This is a 36 count Vintage Country Mocha linen, and I'm stitching 2/2. I love this one. Man, this is gonna look fantastic when it's finished. Whenever that will be. It's pretty big. I'm almost at like the halfway mark. I think after I do the alphabet, that's halfway down. Of course, I haven't done the border yet. I'll figure that out eventually. Okay, what else? All right, that was the end of my whips. I do have 3 new starts, and these are all fall or Halloween. So this first one is from the most recent Halloween edition of Just Cross Stitch magazine. So this is the one that came out this year. And I decided to start this witch. This witch is by Dirty Annie's. And I made a new project bag for it. I love this fabric. Look at this. I found it at an antique mall for $2 and I was like, wow, this is gonna make a fantastic project bag. So I love it. And yeah, the reason I decided to start this, I bought some more of these little gravestones from Michael's. And I did the measurements. I think with the fabric that I picked, I think this is probably going to fit on here. It's going to be tight. So if it doesn't fit, I'll figure out something else. I might put it on a spool or something. But I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to put it in here. Because I think that will look really neat with the moon and everything. But we'll see. And this is just another one of these gravestones that Michael's is selling right now. And they are on super sale just because I think they're trying to unload a lot of their Halloween merchandise at the moment. So let me show you what I have started. So I've got her hat, a little bit of her hair, and yeah, it's a small start, but so this fabric is a linen napkin that I dye myself. It is from the same set of napkins that I used to stitch my And Stripes by Shakespeare's Peddler. This is the same napkin set. I just dyed this one a different color. This one I had stitched 2/2 and it was extremely dense. It was kind of hard to get my needle through in parts of this barn just because it was so dense. So I'm doing this one 1/2 and it's a lot more comfortable. The other thing about this is that I am doing color changes. I don't want her dress to be the same color as her hair. I just want her hair to stand out. So I'm changing the dress color. Right now I'm leaning towards pink. We'll see. And I think I might make her face and her arms darker green because this green isn't even really popping out of that moon. So I think I just might go full on like Halloween green for that. But I love her. She looks very glamorous. Just a super cool design. Yeah, this stand and also this one that I used for my turkey. I found these recently. These are Morgan hoop embroidery stands. This is the small one, and then this is the bigger one. I am really liking these for two-handed stitching, especially this one. This one is my favorite. It's really comfortable for me to do the two-handed stitching with the twin-pointed needles. This one's all right too, and it's really good if I have a fabric that's not big enough for this. But I am really liking these. All right, so that was my first new start. And then, what else do I have? All right, I have a very, very tiny start on Ink Circle's Masquerade. Let me see if I can find that pattern. I know I brought it out here. Okay, so this is Ink Circles. It's called Masquerade. It's got these really cute cats with the milk bottles and everything. Definitely fall, Halloween. We got some bats down here. And the moon, really cute. So I have like a really tiny start with just some of these swirly motif type thing. So I just pulled over-dyed floss from my stash for this. This fabric is actually a Jobelin, which is my first time stitching on a Jobelin. It's kind of strange. It's really soft, but it's fine. I just think I'm not really used to it. This is a 28 count. Clearly it is dyed. I don't know the color of it. This is one I found at a flea market back in August. But I think like it's a pretty good match for what was used in the model here. So I'm happy with it. And yeah, I'm doing 2/2 because of the 28 count. So this is going to be a long time in the making. I'm not going to get a finish on this anytime soon, especially with all the other things I've got going on. And then my last new start, this is Graveyard Guardian by Sprouting Lupine. This is a new release. It is now available as a PDF. I believe Sprouting Lupine has an Etsy shop. I think that's how I got it. And yeah, I probably put a picture in already because I got this as a PDF. So I just got one of the little monuments finished. And this fabric is so pretty. It is an opalescent, 28 count, and it is by Seraphim Fabrics. And I love it. Wow. I think this is gonna look so pretty when it's done. So 2/2 on a 28 count, using called for floss. It's all DMCs, I think, and I'm so excited about this one. So those were my new starts. before I get into haul, I will do like a save the stitches little segment here, because I always try to show a finished cross stitch that I found thrifting or antiquing. I haven't run out of them yet, so I do have one to show today. So, you know him, you love him. He is Frederick the Literate. That's the name of the kit, Frederick the Literate. It's a dimensions kit. I didn't realize this until I looked it up, but it's actually designed by Charles Wysocki. And yeah, I had found this at an antique mall, I don't know, last winter or something like that. It is so adorable. All the books have these titles that are for cats. So they stitched this on a black Aida. It was probably just the kit Aida that came with the kit. They framed it themselves with duct tape. So, it's a stitcher after my own heart. And the detailing in here is really incredible. I love the colors. I picked this one today because I didn't really have any Halloween ones, but this was kind of the closest. Fall, Halloween. So let's see, here's what it looks like from afar. Yeah, and I did have a question in the comments of my last video. Someone was asking me to talk about like pricing. And I think what they were asking is like what is the price range of stitches that I find, finished stitches that I find. I will say, you know, I find these usually at thrift stores, sometimes at antique malls, or sometimes like at a flea market, whatever. So the ones that I buy are very, very inexpensive. The ones that you find at an antique mall tend to be more expensive. Not always, but on average, I would say they tend to be more expensive. I've seen some finished cross stitches priced at like $60 or $70 at an antique mall or an antique store. You know, I don't really have the budget to buy those ones. Unless it was like a finished Mirabilia or something, I might spend that much. I think it would depend on which one it was. But for me, the ones that I buy, generally they are between like $10 and $25. I have found several that were like $5, big ones. Because if you find them at a thrift store, you know, nobody really knows the kind of work that goes into it. They don't really care, so they price it pretty low, which is great for me because I really like having them on the wall. This one was $20. I found it at an antique mall. The most expensive one I think I've ever personally purchased was Feathers and Friends by Butternut Road, and I paid $30 for that one. But I really wanted that one. But yeah, typically on average, I would only spend up to like $20. So I hope that answers your question. The ones at antique stores and antique malls, in my experience, tend to be priced higher. So that was Frederick the Literate Dimensions Kit. And today I just have like a little bonus Save the Stitches, because I literally found this yesterday, and it's not very big, so I'm just gonna throw it in here as like a little bit of an extra. So this is like so adorable. My heart is in Alaska. Look at this. Those animals are so cute. I love them. I'm not totally sure what I'm gonna do with this. I was thinking of maybe turning it into one of those project keepers because it's vertical. So it wouldn't make a very good project bag, but I think it would make a really nice project keeper. I've never made one of those before, so I would have to make a practice one to make sure I don't mess it up. So I might do that and then reuse the frame for one of my stitches because it's a really nice frame. I like this frame. But yeah, this is, I looked this up. It was just like a kit that someone had actually purchased in Alaska, I believe, as a souvenir and then stitched it up. Okay, so that was a little bonus. All right, now I'm gonna get into haul. So if you don't like haul, you're not gonna miss anything. And I do have a little bit more haul than usual. The first part of haul I'll show is some online purchases I made. And then I have some like secondhand ones. So these are 3 things that I purchased from the Etsy shop Hollis Hands Create. Because they happen to have everything that I wanted in one spot. They were the only store that did, as far as I could find. But the first one I got, you've probably seen this. This one just came out recently. Harvest Moon by Annie Beez Folk Art. And I absolutely love this house. I can't wait to stitch this up. I don't think I'm going to start it immediately just because I have several things with houses right now. So I might wait. We'll see. I don't know. I've been starting a lot of stuff. Maybe I'll just go crazy and throw caution to the wind. You know, who cares really? Who cares how many projects I have? I also treated myself to Mistletoe Manor. I wanted this one ever since I saw it previewed for the August needlework market. This is by Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. And the reason I say I treated myself is because I also bought the thread pack. These are the Valdanis. So they're overdyed cottons. Man, there's a lot of glare. They're really pretty. So this is one of the ones I would like to start, but maybe not until I make some more progress on Winter Sampler by Crocette Gogo. And then the other thing I got from Hollis Hands Create shop was Raven Bewitched by Blackbird Designs. I don't think I'm going to start this immediately. I'm still deciding what I'm going to do about colors. I have seen this finished where people have changed the colors of some of the stars. So I'm not sure, because on the one hand, I kind of like how it looks just the way it is, but I am a little intrigued to maybe change some of the colors. So I don't know. I'm still mulling it over. But this is one I've wanted for a while. Okay, those are my like 3 new purchases that I made online. And now I will show, I have like a bunch of haul from a Facebook Marketplace stash that I bought. And I can already tell like Facebook Marketplace is going to be a slippery slope. Like it's probably not a good thing that I recently discovered Facebook Marketplace like 10 years after everybody else did. But anyway, long story short, I found this listing that was for a cross-stitch stash because someone was downsizing and they don't stitch anymore. So I was really lucky that I got this stash of patterns. I only got patterns. So I'm going to show some of the highlights. And I will start with, I was really excited about this set that I got. These are Stony Creek patterns. This one's called Autumn in the Village, but they have all 4 seasons, and this stash had all 4. And I had seen Lori from Once Upon a Stitch. In her, I think it was her most recent video, she showed her finished Autumn in the Village. And she is also working, I believe it is a current whip of hers, is the Christmas in the Village. And they look so beautiful. I love the colors and just the general aesthetic of these. I am really tempted to start Autumn in the Village right now, but it's a lot of floss. It's a big project. I don't know if I'm gonna start it right away, but now I have it, so I can if I want. Here is what the spring looks like. And then this is the summer. So that was really lucky that that collection happened to be in that stash. This lady that I purchased this stash from, you know, her taste is different than mine. For instance, she had like a ton of flowers. Just these really complicated flower patterns. There were roses, there were irises, a big stack of them. So she loved stitching flowers. She had a lot of Paul Yvonne stuff. So she liked those like country stitches, but a lot of those are like full coverage. I mean, those are big projects. And yeah, so her tastes were a little bit different than mine, but there was definitely some overlap. And this was one of them, the Village series. Yeah, she had some Christmas. Well, I will show a few Christmas that she had. She didn't have any Halloween. She did not like spooky stitching, which is fine. But it was so interesting just going through that stash. I mean, it was similar to the flea market stash I found back in August, where it was like a time capsule. Everything was from the 90s and the early 2000s for the most part. Just a very different like style and aesthetic. So the other really cool thing that was in this stash were these Victoria samplers. And there's a bunch of them. This one is like the winter one. Here's the Christmas one. What is this one? Strawberry Fields. This one is the Raven Hill Herb Farm. This one's really neat. This looks like it has some specialty stitches in this garden. And then the last one was Old McDonald's Farm. like really hoping like the pumpkin one was in there, but it wasn't. You may have seen that one before. It's the fall one and it has like these really vibrant pumpkins in it. But anyway, I can't complain. I got some really great patterns here. My thought is that I might combine portions of these two, the winter and the Christmas, because I like motifs from both of them. I really like the top part of this one. And then I love the whole thing here. The Christmas tree farm. So that was another like collection that was in that stash. And then the rest of the ones I'll show are just kind of random. I'm only going to show a few more. Like I said, there were a lot of Stoney Creeks, and I love this one. Christmas, Lighthouse of Christmas 4. I love the colors on that. That's really pretty. There were a couple of Judith Kirbys. There's a 4th of July. And then this one is like the Victorian street scene. The Judith Kirby patterns look really nice when they're stitched up. And there's several Halloween ones that are really hard to find. As I said, this lady did not like Halloween stitching, so there wasn't any Halloween ones in there, but I am super excited that I got these ones. And I'm definitely considering stitching this one in the summer. I love gazebos. This is really cute. And then here's a couple of fall ones. So Harvest Light by Diane Arthurs, sorry. And this one is called Autumn by Cecilia Vota. Jeanette Cruz Designs. When I pulled this out, I thought it was a mermaid at first, but then I took a closer look and I was like, no, it's just that her dress is made out of autumn leaves. I am very intrigued to stitch this. I have a feeling it will look really nice when it's done. So I'm definitely keeping this and just gonna, I don't know if I'll start it this year, but I would like to tackle this. It is so unique and pretty, and I love the colors. So once again, there's the information. And the last one I will show from this stash was, I was really excited to get this. This is Mirabilia Christmas Elegance. I had seen this design before. I was always really struck by it. This would be a ton of stitching, but goodness, it's gorgeous. And I could not be more thrilled to get this. All right, that is all I will show from that very lucky stash I got on Facebook Marketplace. The last three are just kind of random stuff. Well, this one I was very susceptible to Flosstube when I bought this because I believe it is Katie of Red Stitchery, I think that's her channel, showed this in one of her videos, Stars of the North. It's all these polar bears. And let me see if I can find that picture. Yeah, so that's the one I want to do. I love it so much. So that's because I watched Katie from the Red Stitchery. I just like found this on Amazon and bought it. This I found in an antique mall. Christmas Magic. Mostly I was thinking, even if I didn't stitch the full design, I really like this font in this sign. It looks cool. But yeah, there's a lot of different designs in here. And then this one I also found, oh, sorry, jiggled the phone. This one I also found at an antique mall. I think this would look really neat, stitched up. So Dance Halloween by Anagram Diffusion. I don't know what that is, but it only has 4 colors. All right, so that finally concludes my haul section. I will just move into talking about books that I've listened to. So if you don't have any interest in books, you're not going to miss anything after this. Thank you so much for stopping by, and if you made it this far, thanks a lot. I'll catch you next time. But for things that I've been reading, well, technically listening to audiobooks, but the best one is that I listened to within the last month. The title is Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine. This book came out several years ago, and I think that's why the audiobook was just available immediately. I kind of picked it randomly, but I ended up loving this book. It was so well written. The author is Gail Hunneman, and the plot is about this young woman, Eleanor, and she had a very traumatic upbringing. She had a mother with severe mental illness. So Eleanor grew up in this environment where she didn't really learn a lot of just what we would consider social skills. She is very eccentric, very awkward person. I think strictly because of the bizarre situation she was a child in. So the book is about her as an adult now, and it kind of follows her as she is learning a lot of these social skills, and she's learning how to form connections with people and make friends, but all the while she has all of this internalized trauma from dealing with her mother. And that's all I'll say about the plot. It was very compelling. The characterization was excellent. This was a very well-written book. I loved it. I couldn't stop listening to it. So yeah, I give that one a big thumbs up. Very interesting. It wasn't really a romance. It wasn't, you know, it was just a good story. The next one I listened to another Abby Jimenez book. Last time I had talked about several of those that I had listened to, and now I listened to The Friend Zone. This was very similar to her other novels. It is about Kristen and Josh. I will say that I think this one is a little bit older than the other ones, and they had different voice actors for the audiobook, which I found a little bit distracting. I did not like these voice actors as much. I think I had just become very accustomed to the other ones. So this one did not really resonate with me as much. But it was all right. I did listen to the whole thing. It is about a relationship between these two people, and the woman has suffered from some health problems, specifically related to infertility. So the book is an exploration of the psychology of someone who is going through that. So, you know, that was interesting. And like I said, I did enjoy the book. I wish they had used the different voice actors, but I think it's just because it was an older book. So that was The Friend Zone. And then I listened to a bunch of Ali Hazelwood books. And I kind of thought that she was mostly like contemporary romance, but she actually does a lot of different stuff. The first one I listened to was called Bride. This is a romantasy. So the main characters, the woman is a vampire. Her name is Misery, and the hero is a werewolf, and his name is Lo. And I found this book to be very entertaining. I had never really read a vampire book before, with the exception of like Dracula, like the actual Dracula from 1899 or whatever. But this was really fun. There was a lot of just laugh out loud moments in Bride. It was really funny. It was well written. It is a little bit explicit as far as like the steam is concerned, you know. So it's definitely written for adults. It's not a YA novel, but it was a lot of fun. It was about like these two communities, the vampires and the werewolves. Like they have to find a way to coexist, and they basically barter this woman, Misery, to forge an alliance of sorts. So it's about her like learning to live among the werewolves. So it had like kind of a political plot, which was cool. Love Theoretically is another Ali Hazelwood book. This one is a contemporary romance. This one got really into the weeds of academia. The main character, Elsie, she's an adjunct professor, and she's a physicist. So the plot of the story, it really got into the weeds of like just the abusive academic system, the exploitation of adjunct labor, like... I was reading this book, I was like, wow, this really takes me back. It was like a little upsetting to read about so much of the things she was going through, just because that like really resonated with me on a personal level, because of my, you know, grad school experience. But the book it was good, it was entertaining. The hero is named Jack, and he's like a rival physicist, and he has more power in the academic system than she does. So there was that whole dynamic to navigate. So if you want to read like a plot about academia, this is the book for you. Check-in Mate. This is a YA novel. It was really fun. It was about Mallory and Nolan. Mallory is a chess player, but she has been on hiatus. And she's only 18 years old in the book, I believe. I think she's 18. She had played chess a lot when she was younger. Her dad was like her mentor back then. But then like traumatic things happen. She decides not to play chess anymore, until she decides that she kind of has to. Because she needs to win this prize money to help support her family. So that was the tension in this book. She has a couple of younger sisters who, I mean, the book really captured just like how annoying teenagers can be. So it was very realistic in that way. And she kind of has to deal with her younger sisters. I mean, she is very young herself. She's 18. So there's that whole aspect of it. Nolan is also a chess player. And yeah, the book is about them going to various tournaments. They're like rivals, but they're also friends. So this was it was a really cute book. And it was about Mallory, kind of similar to the academic books that Ellie Hazelwood writes. It's about a young woman trying to make it in a male-dominated environment. So really cool. Yeah, that one didn't have like a lot of steam because it is a YA book. And then the last one I listened to was called Not in Love. I think this might be the most recent one she's come out with, Ellie Hazelwood, and this one follows Rue and Eli. So this one has another like sort of science-y plot. It's not set in academia, but it is about scientists who are academics who are like, they run this science lab, they're trying to patent like different tech, and it's like a corporate takeover plot because Eli, he's a part of like this corporate takeover. They want to acquire this lab, and Rue, she's kind of one of the scientists doing the grunt work in the lab. So she has like a personal stake in not having the lab taken over by a corporation. So that's like the framework of the plot, but this is a book you want to read if you want a lot of steamy scenes. This one was very explicit. It's almost like the plot was kind of like background for the shenanigans between Rue and Eli. So it was like a very different vibe. It wasn't my favorite just because, like, you know, I don't find that super interesting, but you know, if that's the kind of like you're actively seeking out like a steamy romance, then yeah, this is the book for you. So yeah, I think out of those four, I think that Bride was probably my favorite, which surprises me because I'm not usually into like vampire stuff, but it was really funny. And then my second favorite was probably Check and Mate, because that was a compelling story with interesting characters, and the chess framework was pretty cool. And okay, so that's all the books. I will just talk about one TV show, which is Netflix Nobody Wants This. You may have heard of it already. It was getting a lot of buzz. It stars Adam Brody and Kristen Bell. And this show was so cute. And I've just been in like a dearth of things to watch on TV lately. I just feel like nothing good has been coming out. So it was just such a breath of fresh air to watch this really cute rom-com on Netflix. It has 10 episodes, I think, and it's a story about Adam Brody plays a rabbi, and Kristen Bell plays like a podcaster. She has kind of an edgy podcast, so she's really cool and cute, and she and Adam Brody meet each other and they start dating. However, it's complicated because he's a rabbi and he has all of this pressure from his community to marry a Jewish woman. So that is the main conflict of this story, is that he just kind of has to navigate like I want to be in this relationship, but I'm also very uncomfortable because, you know, my family, my friends, my entire community does not really approve of this relationship. And I will say, yeah, I mean, it's a very familiar plot, like, oh, like I'm too embarrassed to be seen with this person, or I don't feel comfortable with this person, or my friends don't like this person. It's a very familiar, like, conflict in a story, in a love story. But this show just did it really well, because it showed Adam Brody, like, yeah, sometimes he was kind of being a little bit of a jerk, but then they would have this moment where they would actually, like, talk about it, like, why are you acting this way? Like, what's going on? And then they would have open communication about what was happening and why he was behaving the way that he was. So that was really great. I just thought it really modeled, like, getting to know each other in a healthy way, even though there's aspects in the community that are kind of like throwing up some roadblocks. So it was super fun, really cute. And man, they had great chemistry. Just an excellent show, in my opinion. All right, so we're a little bit over an hour. I think I did pretty good since I had so many things to show, but I don't know if I'll be able to do another video between now and the end of October, so the next time you see me, it might be like getting more into holiday stitching, Christmas and stuff, but we'll see. And I just want to thank you so much if you made it all the way to the end of my projects, and also my exposition about like things I've been consuming in terms of media. But I will catch you next time, and until then, happy stitching. Bye.